Hello and welcome to this episode of Geology Made Easy with Blueback Reservoir. Today we're going to look at cross-plotting of model properties and well data using the Geodata Investigator. What's different about today's demo is we're going to show how we can use the Spatial Selector together with the GDI to interactively change our area of interest. So what I'm going to do is basically define an area of interest with my Spatial Selector, then create an investigation and add some data to it, and then open in a crossplot. And then what I'll do is be able to interactively change my area of interest and update the crossplot. So here it's just a simple example of a crossplot within this area of interest, but I'll also show how we can do something a bit more sophisticated and have two different area of interests feeding two different crossplots so that we can do some kind of comparison. So let's just jump into Petrel and see how that works. So the first thing I have to do is define my area of interest by creating a spatial selector. So I could do that by inserting it on any of the active objects here. And one nice example is to click on, for example, a folder of wells and then say insert new Blueback Spatial Selection. And this will basically insert a probe encompassing all those wells area, which of course include some of the model as well. Next, it's time to create the investigation, and I can do that by right-clicking on the probe and saying create Gdi Investigation. And what it will do is it will pick up anything you have displayed here and add that to the investigation by default. So you can see it's added my A wells and porosity and permeability, which I have displayed, and then also the geogrid here as well. So now just press OK to complete this process. Next, what we can do is then plot that in a GDI window by right-clicking on my new investigation here and say Show in Blueback Crossplot window. And this will open up a simple crossplot and display my data. You can see here I have my porosity and permeability, my model points, and my wells together in one area. I can also color these, for example, by the individual wells, like so. And then I want to show you is if I right click on the investigation and say enable auto refresh of points, I should then be able to basically resize or indeed move my probe, and it'll update the area of interest that's displayed. So now you can see that the wells are no longer in the area of interest, so they're not drawn on the crossplot. And when I pull it back in, then they'll be re-added there. So finally, I wanted to show how it could be simple to make a easy comparison of different area of interest. So what I'll do is I'll basically then maybe insert a probe encompassing the entire model. So here, insert new Blueback Spatial Selection. And then from that probe, I will create a new GDI investigation. Again, it will pick up the all the data in that area, so this time it includes the B wells and the A wells. Press OK. And then for that investigation I can create a separate crossplot window by right-clicking and saying Show in Crossplot Window. And then with some careful reorganization of the windows here, I can then basically work interactively with these two different plots. So here I have a probe encompassing the whole model, and in the upper section here just a small area around the A wells. And I've defined them both to work interactively, so I should be able to play around with different selections here. Like so, and basically allows me to compare different areas of the model and look at the property distribution in those different areas. So that concludes this small episode on how to use the Spatial Selector, and please let us know if you have any further questions. Thanks.